My name is Aurora Lubos, and I work with Vincent Dance Theatre for 12 years already. And at the beginning, I think when I met Charlotte, I was mostly interested in dance theatre. So I was more bringing the skills of dancer, a usual dancer. When the relationship was growing, I started myself, because I do my own work as well. I became more interested in different areas of arts as well. So I think now more making that show, especially, I was thinking more about pictures and visual aspect of that Motherland. Yeah, I think what interested me in that particular show was that you can create an image, it can sustain in the moment, it can be written just as a picture. So it's a mixture of theater, of visual arts, of installation. It's not like linear thinking of just theater or dance theater. We start from, there is an idea, that we know the show vaguely what it's going to be about, but the whole making process, the rehearsals, the improvisation, the 40 or an hour long improvisation around the subjects are the most interesting things. Making is sometimes even more important for me than showing, in a way, while making the show. Of course, I always work from my experience or observing the world or what things are happening, or my memories, or the relationship, especially in that show, between my mom or my grandmother, or and me myself being a mother as well. It has a completely different perspective. My role is also to mark the space in the 2-hour-long show, to serve with the images, to build the picture. Also, and that would be less emotional part of my role. The more emotional one would be more like representing the cycle of life, the earth, the giving birth scenes. The scene when I try to find a vocal equivalent of the whole life, from childbirth, from first words, from the baby sounds, from being more like a child and then adolescent, and all these stages of life. In Motherland, there is the generation represented by Alice, 12-year-old, and then the whole mid-age bunch of people, and then it's the representation of the older woman in the space. I think with all that images that we bring, the last one brings the hope, and I really love, I do the the last duet and a solo with a soil, but then I see this young girl coming onto the stage, and I know that I don't have to try anymore. I don't, that there is something new coming, that always brings me this kind of, that now I can breathe. There is a next generation. I'm still here, of course, there is, but it's the cycle is going. It's and they bring new energy, and that's the most moving bit in the show for me. The challenging bit about doing Motherland, performing it's actually, and we talked about this, and every one of us had this problem, because this is the first time when I do a show and I'm not on stage for the whole time. You just go, you've got a list of scenes, you go, you do your bit, you get your emotions involved, you try 100 or 200%, then you are really calmly, and you go off the stage. Basically, we're presenting fragments of how we see Motherland, or how Charlotte, see Motherland, because she provided the whole environment for us, so she triggered the things. So it's her Motherland. when I was thinking about my motherland, you know, which is around me, it were memories, you know, glimpses of, you know, memories that you can capture. It's about the cycle of life, the death, you know, birth, and it's like going round and round and round. It's about glimpses of noises as well, voices, you know, that are stuck. Maybe sometimes it's a smell. So it's all these themes gathered into our show. You know, you never will be able to put everything. So that's why I think the structure is like this. And yeah, that's the motherland. It's the memories as a female artist and a mother. It is hard, you know. It's the constant. I mean, my kids are in Poland now with my husband, but you know, it's the constant kind of, you know, juggling these two things. You know, you need your mind to be in a certain point, you know, to be creative, but at the same time you've got the life, you know, you've got the kids, you've got the stuff that you have to do. We talked a lot about you know, giving birth, you know, surgical clean, you know, what is made to your body, and I talked about, you know, cesareans and stuff, and how it is, you know, sometimes you have to be, it's so removed from you. So I think the show only worked because of the formal, how it's set, you know, how it's for the audience. They I think after, you know, like 20 minutes they bite that's the structure, you know, nothing else will happen, you know. It's dance, it's theater, it's music, it's live music, it's a performance, live act thing, more this type, and an installation, because of the kind of, you can see just an image of Andrea lying on the box, and it's like a sculpture, and it takes time to watch it. Or maybe there is something happening on the stage, there's a bit of dance, but actually I'm more attached to the blood splat on the wall, and when the space is empty, it's just this mark, you know, or it's the mark on the floor. It's like there are traces of what happened maybe an hour ago in the show that you can connect still with, you know. Repetitions are marking the time, you know, are marking the space. It's like in your life, like for me, this the like taking it, you know, into like a broad aspect, you know, it's taking it outside the theater or the show. It's like there are things happening in your life that are repetitive as well, you know. There might be one birth, second birth, third birth, you know, like this, or there might be a death, and you still have to deal with these emotions. But this is just a representation, you know. It's like just an image. I think, you know, the first entrance, what I do in the show, it's so beautiful, you know, that we can have this connection with the viewer, actually, you know. It's not like it's a wall, you know, and then you just, you know, look somewhere and you don't even, you know, engage your gaze with anyone. We try to be, you know, us humans. We want to talk to you, you know, to you. I want to see you in the back row as well, you know, how much I can take you on a journey, you know. So I wouldn't call it stare it, it's more like invitation, you know. Well, I love the last bit, the last music very much, because it's I mean, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. And whenever I hear it, it just makes me it just provides me with this, you know, beautiful emotions, you know, and it's calming. It's just spacious, you know. It's, yeah, I think that the symbols are very, like, for me they are very simple symbols, you know. The earth is, it's I mean, you could connect the earth to death. It depends in which bit of the piece as well, you know, because when you put an earth over another human, it might be about burying somebody, or if, you know, or when I put the soil for the first time and we do a folk dance around the soil, it's about growing, you know. It's fun. It's like this, you know, things that are people gathering together to make something, you know. And it's also when I have the soil close to my belly, and you know, it's the pregnancy thing. It's, you know, that the image of actually growing something with the earth inside. It's had a different meaning, you know. So yeah, with the blood, it depends what's your history, you know. The blood can be a period, you know. It's like, it could be a miscarriage, it could be, you know, just marking like it's happening every month, you know, this thing, or it could be a birth blood, you know. It depends what you bring, you know. It's like on white space, which is highlighted with lights, you know, you can see everything. You can see, like, even, you know, the eye moves that way, or the finger, you know, moves that way. You can see everything. So that's why, you know, the little bits, the little you can see a pile of soil, which then changes into like spread soil, or you can see then somebody just by making a movement, making a circle, which the circle then happens in a different place, you know, in the soil, or maybe as a structure of movement. So it's all this it's very good crafted show. I've got a favorite image, but I don't know if it's seen from the audience. I mean, if the audience is on the rake, or obviously they can see it. It's after Andrea's diagonal that she do on the floor, which is really down to the ground. She leaves on the floor marks from, you know, from the dripping blood, and I always look at the picture, you know, like from the wings, you know, what is happening on the floor, and of course every time it's different, but whenever I enter the space, you know, it's there. So you've got this kind of marks that you are following, and this is kind of a real thing that you can really connect with, for me, you know.